Hey everybody. Well, first off, I want to thank all of you that watch our videos and been great supporters with us and all, and I hope you continue to be great supporters. So we had a live chat today and we got attacked by trolls, as y'all call them. I hadn't really had a problem with that on this channel. It's my first real run-in with it. But let me tell you a past story of what's happened with me, that I looked into some of these guys and I looked at their pages and I seen what they are and what they represent, and it brought back a lot of hard feelings. Brought back a reminder of a very bad incident that happened to me before, and I want to share that with you guys. If y'all saw me be a little affected by it while I'm reading it, and I'm seeing these guys and their names, I was somewhat bothered with it, and it's already been taken care of, and some of the things they said have already been reported. That's all fine, and I set up some of you as moderators, and I appreciate you volunteering on that. And I wasn't able to click on yours for a moderator for some reason. I don't know. We'll look into that, but I don't mind adding you at all. No problem. Maybe I just wasn't doing it right, but I did get a couple of you out there that had asked, and I know you'll do me a good job, and thank you very much for that. So let me get on to my story. And I know I talk sometimes, and I mean, what else you gonna do? Get on here and toss balloons and or balls and juggle and do clown acts. So I want to tell this story, and you'll see why somewhat I get affected by that stuff. So, do construction work in the U.S. Now, I mean, I own retail stores and electronic stores and different things, and but I've always dealt with construction stuff as well. I've always been a multifaceted person. So one hot Texas day, I'm heading out of Terrell, and I'm driving along the highway, and super hot day, and I have a guy that's working for me. He's with me, and there's this like middle-aged woman, decent looking lady. You know what I mean, decent looking is her appearance, her dress, her clothes and everything. And she's walking the highway, and it was just so odd out there in that area. It's such a long stretch of road for anyone to be out there walking like that, and she looked like she was favoring an arm. Well, I asked the guy with me, I said, man, it bothers me to leave that lady out here in the middle of nowhere walking. There's just something not right. Maybe she needs a ride or needs help. We didn't see a car broke down anywhere. So we went and circled back around and went back down and went to her and pulled up, and he rolled down a window, you know, and we're nervous to approach her too. Maybe she's going to be scared that we're some kind of bad guys. So, you know, I paused for a second so Melinda didn't know I was recording a video, let her know. So anyway, she might think we're bad guys, you know, so we pull up at a distance from her and said, hey, you know, we're not trying to bother you or anything, we're just checking on you, make sure you're okay. And I could see that it looked like she had a broken arm, and it looked bad, and she looked like she had been maybe knocked around or in an accident. And I asked her, have you been in a car accident? Is there a car like ran through a ditch here or something somewhere? No, but she did want to ride, and she said just however far up the road, she's going to the neighboring town, however far up the road you can take me. Well, at first I said I would just take you to where we're turning off, but then I was talking to the guy with me, and I said, you know, what do you think? He said, man, just take her on up there to the town she wants to go to and just get her on there. Well, she didn't ride in the cab with us. She rode in the back of my truck. I really felt nervous, you know, to pick this woman up and put her between two men in a single cab pickup. And she agreed. And I said, for your safety, and so you feel more comfortable, you ride in the back. If you feel uncomfortable anytime, you know you're able to get out. You know, we're not trying to nab you up or nothing. And it's a nervous situation to help somebody in this day and time. So we took her to the neighboring town where she asked to go. She was thirsty, she was hot, and I saw her, and The guy with me started talking to her, an employee, and he said, I think you need help. Do you need us to call law enforcement? And we need to take you to a hospital. You know, what you need? And she said, well, I need some water and maybe some aspirin. I don't have no money. And she wouldn't really tell us what was up. So he went in and he bought her some things inside the local Walmart there and brought it back out to her. And he talked to her and all. And he said, hey, you know, we got a friend that could probably help you out, or we could take you to a woman's shelter or something, because apparently you got something bad going on. And she fessed up that she had been abused by her spouse. And at that point in time, he's like, man, let's try to get her to a woman's shelter. And I asked her, how come you haven't been to the police? She swore she had, and they did nothing for her, which turned out to be a true story. She didn't deny or lie to us on that, because as this thing developed, it turned out to be a true story. So shame on them. So nevertheless, she ended up not staying there. We made some contacts. I tried to take her to a shelter over into the neighboring city, the other direction of Kaufman. And I don't know why they wouldn't accept her. And so the guy with me, we had a mutual friend, and contacted him and said, man, you know, can you give her a place to stay for a few days once she figures all this out and all. So then a third person now is involved. And she said, I just really need to call my daughters and let my daughters know that I'm okay and where I'm at. Can you guys please let me use one of your phones? Absolutely. And I let her use my cell phone. Well, she called a daughter and let the daughters know she's okay, and she's trying to get in a woman's shelter, and she's trying to deal with the police and all that. And I dropped this woman off, and that's the end of the story for me. I thought I was just being a good Samaritan, a good guy out there, a good Southerner, or you know, just a good guy. I was trying to be a good guy. And the thing is, it didn't stop there. So then one day, I received an email, and it was a very strange email, and it was a threatening email from a total stranger and a weird email address. And I blew it off as maybe just a mistake because it didn't seem too personal to me. Then I started receiving phone calls, and these calls were bad, and they were very threatening and very pointed at me. I started receiving more emails on email addresses that I hadn't even used in a long time, and very pointed and developing very personal information about myself. Well, then I started receiving death threats. So at this point in time, I involved the law enforcement, and I turned over to let them go into my emails. I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book, so they could go. I gave them permission to go on my emails. I gave them logins, everything, and they could even track it as it was happening, and my phone records as well. Well, turns out it's that woman that we try to help. It's her husband, the one that had hurt her, and what he had done is, when she called that daughter, which is not a daughter of his, it's from a previous marriage she had before this guy, he bullied that girl into giving the number that she called from. He bullied her and kind of tricked her into giving up the number that she called from, which was my cell phone. And apparently this guy worked with one of these like repo companies or whatever that track down people that run off with cars that are financed, and so he had a lot of tools at his fingertips to track down a lot of information about me by just my cell phone number. So this guy got my home address, he got all my email addresses, social media accounts, he got everything. And he was digging in like on social media. He was prying through my personal life about who I'm dating and all that, about my little boy here in the Philippines as well. And this guy starts threatening, and he starts giving descriptions of my home, descriptions of my child, making threats on them, death threats. And this guy's calling me all hours of the night, and I'm in some fear because this dude's writing me like I'm watching you right now, which turned out he was. He was sneaking onto my land, hiding, and watching me. So the sheriff's department come out, and the sheriff investigator was there, and lo and behold, he called my phone right then while the sheriff was there, and he told the sheriff, I see you right now, I know it's you on the phone. And absolutely, he was there. He was out there hiding right then. Well, he made his way out from there, and at this point in time, so all of this, now just think, all of this coming from me just helping a lady walking down the side of the road, just trying to be a good Samaritan. So while the sheriff's there talking to him, and he tells the sheriff his name, it's me, and I'm going to get this guy. And he said, why are you so hard pressed after this man that all he did was give her a ride and try to get her help? He don't know you, he don't know her, he's just doing the right thing. He said, just because he stuck his nose in it. Well, my involvement was very minimal, and in fact, it was the guy working with me that was more interested in getting her help than me. And he said, it's just the way it is. He stuck his nose where it didn't belong, and I'm going to make him pay for it. And he kept taking it too far, and law enforcement went after him. And I tell you, they got him at his place. They raided him. They let me know when they were raiding him. They surrounded his house. They, sure enough, he had a gun in his truck. He had pictures of my place. He had everything. A sick mind, and it was a very sick place, and they found all kinds of other things there. And of course, he got incarcerated, and the attorney general took it up, and he's very involved with a hate group, and I won't call their name or anything, but he was involved with a hate group as well. And then while he's incarcerated, I start getting bothered again by the hate group. And it got pretty serious, and I tell you what, I was in a lot of fear. I'm not going to deny I was in a lot of fear. And this district attorney was working hard to get them. He was really working hard on my side. The U.S. Marshals got involved in it and all. I mean, it turned into a big deal because now once more I'm involved, it became a big issue. And the good guys won in the deal, It all got resolved. And this guy, he went away, and it all stopped. And the whole mess of the ordeal was very eye-opening on how ugly this world can be, and how eye-opening that trying to do the right thing sometimes can put you in a very bad predicament. And it was a very serious predicament. I still have a file folder, DVD, everything that they gave me from the district attorney's office and all involving that. But it's these same kind of characters that was harassing today. Now, it's no association. These people on here, all that's been already years ago. But I see that, and it's a reminder of what happened before and how far people can go. But they've been reported, and I'm going to trust in you moderators to help out. But it did kind of rattle my mind a little bit when I seen the type of group it was, because that's what I encountered before. And it's a shame that our society has eroded to that, but I think these groups have always kind of been around, and you just have to deal with it. But that's my story on that before, and it was a real deal, and it was a serious deal. I mean, this guy, True Blue, was stalking me, and I was laid up waiting for him too. And the law enforcement knew this is going to get bad, so and they're making threats to the law enforcement as well. It was pretty crazy. Well, so that's my story on that, and I just want y'all to know, yeah, if y'all saw me a little affected, you would understand why. And I will talk to you all later, and just keep strong with us out there, and thank you again for you volunteers to moderate.